We're back. Welcome, episode 8. I always mess this up and say the same thing every single time, but I'm pretty sure it's episode 8. So this week we have David Hatt on, owner of MTN. Do you want to give us a wee bit about you, your background, where you started, all that kind of stuff?
Thank you for having me. I'm owner of MTN Coaching. That's a fitness and lifestyle coaching company that I've had for the last 6 years. Outside of that, I have been coaching personal training for the last 11 years. Started when I was 19. I am now 30. When I'm 31, maybe it's 12 years. Fuck. So I've been coaching quite a long time. Started in Exercise for Less. Was there for like 4 years. Then moved to a private facility, Commando XFit in Hillington, and then moved to Dubai for a year. Then that's where I started online coaching. Moved back. Kind of started to scale online coaching, just me, my solo personal brand, and then I brought some coaches to work on it underneath me, and then I launched MTN Coaching, which for me was more of like a having people work under the name, David Hatt has coaches, just didn't have the same thing to having like an actual company and a brand. So that's how I started MTN. 6 years old now, so it's older than things that are 5 years old. There is 11 of us now as well, so the team's kind of growing and expanding every year, which is one of my continued goals.
Class.
That's it.
Good.
It's all done. Right, let's go.
No, perfect. Like I said to you, you've probably told the story a million times. Most people involved in the fitness industry definitely know who you are, so we'll kind of skim over that a little bit. But firstly, what was the thing that got you? I'm not sure if I know this, to be fair. So what got you into coaching, personal training? Was it?
Yeah, good question.
Sport.
Yeah, like I've always been like, I was dead sporty and athletic as a kid. So I done martial arts when I was younger. I done karate and I competed for Scotland and done quite well in that. So that was from the ages of like 10 to 20, probably 10 to 20. So I done that for about 10 years. The main reason I actually started training was to gain weight, to move up a category. Basically, I kept getting beat at a certain weight class, and I was like, everyone in the above weight class wasn't as good. So I was like, I'm going to be better in that weight class. So I think I was 67 kilo or something, like super skinny, super light, and I wanted to get up to 75. So that's why I started lifting weights, just to get into that. And then that very quickly turned into, one, I knew I wasn't going to do karate for my entire life. It's not a career, there's no money in it. So it very quickly started to turn into more of a passion, actually going to the gym. Now, I always had a six-pack. Like, I am genetically blessed, but I'm also one of these guys, like when I was fucking 11 years old, was watching Bruce Lee videos and doing sit-ups in the house. So I always had abs. So I'd always kind of get questions about like, how do you get in shape? How do you stay lean? Whatever else. And I didn't have a clue. I was just like, I'm just like this. I train a lot and my diet's all right. So when I started to actually build a little bit of muscle, my physique improved, and then naturally people in my working environment, which was IKEA at the time, asked me like, how did you get in shape? Can you help me? And I started to kind of dishing out training plans on fucking notes and stuff like that and sending them across. And I was like, do you know what? Don't want to work in IKEA my entire life. I didn't really have like a career trajectory. I was quite smart in school, but I didn't want to go to uni.
You weren't doing uni or college?
Nah, my brother had studied architecture for 7 years, qualified. 1, couldn't get a job. 2, hated it. And I was like, fuck that. I kind of just made the decision then. I was like, I don't want to go to uni until I'm like, unless I decide like I'm really passionate about accountancy or something like that. So yeah, like for me, I've always said this, personal training is like I always say it's a dumb person's job. Like if you look at the vast majority of PTs, like we're all dummies. Not me and you, obviously, but like,
no, of course.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's assumed to be like quite a stupid person's job. It's like, I always say it's like,
it probably is.
Failed footballers is like a big one, or people that were good at sport, which is where I fall. I was good at sport as a kid, and I was like, fuck it, I'll be a PT. So that's genuinely how I started and why I started, and I didn't want to go to uni. It wasn't because I wanted to help everyone. Like, I'll be honest, that wasn't initially why I got into it. It was people were asking me questions anyway. Maybe I can try and get paid a little bit for this. And it seemed like a bit of a career for me, which at the time, like, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I didn't want to work in IKEA. That's for sure.
For me, it was pretty much the exact same thing, but it was just, don't know what else to do. It always sounds like a job that I'd like to do.
I think that's still one. I think that's actually still, I mean, nowadays I'd say more people get into coaching because they've got themselves in shape, they've seen the benefits, and they're like, I'd like to help someone else.
That's definitely the big reason.
That's a big reason, and I think the other reason is that people think it's quite an easy career. Maybe because of the way it's portrayed online. Like, they'll see someone that's doing it successfully and they're like, their life looks quite easy. Because, like, to be honest, my life online, maybe not like getting up at like 4 and 5 in the morning. Outside of that, like,
do you deliberately do that now?
I've always like, because I used to.
I wish I could do that, man.
I just love. So I've probably got up somewhere between 4 and 6 a.m. for 80% of my life after turning 19. Like, genuinely.
How many coffees do you have by 10 o'clock?
I'm not that bad. Like, two nowadays. I love it.
You're always big on promo and coffee.
I drink a lot. I drink coffee every day, but I don't drink a lot of coffees every day. There you go. Probably have two, max 3 coffees a day. Okay. Occasionally throw in a can of Monster.
Right, okay.
Keep it fitness.
Aye.
So, yeah, I think people see it as being quite an easy career, and you know yourself, like, it's not. Same with anything. If you want to make anything a success, I don't think it's easy. If you want to be good at something.
Do you think it's got harder from when we both started?
Marketing's got way harder.
Aye.
Yeah, marketing for me back in the day, 11 years ago, was not even a picture. It was a Facebook status. So like, and the status would say like, how many calories do you need for fat loss? And it would be, my captions were essays. And people would read them because like I had an air of authority just because I had a six pack. Marketing's got so much harder. Picking up clients gets so much harder. 1, people trust people less for sure. 2, there's more coaches out there doing it. 3, there's more coaches that are better at marketing. Marketing used to be, I'd say I got good at marketing before a lot of other people, and that's why I've had a level of success. I'd say when a lot of guys really dialed in on like physique and training, like that's where they went all in. I was like, I'm fine with where I'm at there. I'm going to go all in marketing, and that's where I probably have excelled, I would have said.
I think the service now you need to supply is really a lot better than definitely when I started. I wasn't doing check-ins when I started. I don't think many people were when they first start, especially 10 years ago or something like that.
But so I've always said there's a distinction between personal training and coaching. Like, I think there needs to be more personal trainers out there and less coaches, because I think more people need to deliver what a personal trainer does, which is teach someone how to lift weights effectively or teach people how to lose fat effectively in the gym. And it's hard because you can't just be a personal trainer if you want to make a lot of money, because there's online coaches and there's coaches that are doing the whole mindset, training, nutrition, lifestyle. They're doing all that stuff, so you're competing against them. But I actually think for most, especially younger coaches, they should focus on becoming a good personal trainer initially. And the rest of the stuff kind of follows. And I think there's still a massive need for personal training. I actually think it's going to have its heyday again. Like, I think online coaching had the rise, COVID, whatever else. I think in-person coaching, and certainly group coaching as well, is going to get more and more popular. Because I think people need to learn how to train, and you can't teach somebody new from online coaching. Yeah,
and I think you definitely notice that when you take someone. We were actually speaking about that in the roundtable episode that we done. Yeah. That you see that in a lot of people. If you get them for online coaching and they send you some videos through, and you're like, fuck. We need to take this back.
And it's like how you can send some looms and you can send some voice notes and maybe your own video, but there's nothing more effective than having someone in front of you and physically moving them into a RDL or a hinge or whatever else. Like, you need that. And I think even just being like, where do you feel that? They're doing a bicep curl and they're like, can I feel my calves? I'm like, what? But like being able to be like, right, I suppose you are actually jerking your legs when you're doing that. Like, try and fucking stand still. Like, it's hard to do that with online coaching. And for when I first started online coaching, I was very firm on like, I only coach people that know how to lift weights, or like at least think they know how to lift weights. Now it's different. Like, we take a wider audience of people, but also we've now got more resources to coach people with less education, if that makes sense. So, but yeah, I'm still quite a firm believer on like, if you're new to the gym, get a personal trainer. If you know how to train, you can get an online coach if you want as well. Yeah, definitely. That's where I've kind of always had that kind of mindset.
Yeah. What was the thing that made you kind of take the jump from personal training to online coaching? Because you definitely did it way before. Well, I think you did it way before there was the kind of COVID stuff and all that. Yeah, I done it. That's when there was a big boom, and it was a lot easier to do it in that time.
And again, that's where I think I've had an advantage. I started and I got popularity with online coaching before online coaching was popular. I had a client, Sean, who owned pizza shops. I've told this story a few times, but he'd always said to me, I trained him in person when I worked in Glasgow, and he'd always said, what about like online coaching? You could scale your business, because he kind of knew a lot about business actually.
Using terms that no one used back then.
What does that mean? I was like, and for me, like back then, the only online coaches were largely bodybuilding prep coaches, because like they would online coach people, but you didn't coach Gen Pop. It wasn't like a thing. Gen Pop went to the gym with a personal trainer. So that was 2018. He was kind of 2017, he was planting that seed. And I was like, nah, it won't work. I'm not in that kind of shape. Don't have that sort of social media following, whatever else. I was like, nah. Then I moved to Dubai in 2018, done some group coaching, done some personal training. But like was struggling to get leads out there. It was way harder to build a business in Dubai. In fact, it's still hard out there. So I was like, why don't I just approach all of my old Glasgow clients with some form of like online thing? I didn't know what the fuck it was. It was a challenge that I'd done with them at the time. So it was largely I wasn't making enough money in Dubai, and I thought, let me try this thing to see if it works. And I think it was £75 for 6 weeks, and at the end of the 6 weeks, whoever had lost the most fat, they'd win 500 quid. So I was like, that's how that actually started, and we've consistently done things like that. And that's grown into what's the 12-week peak now. It's a sort of like long challenge with a prize at the end. That's like, it's always worked for us. So that's kind of why I started online coaching, and then it grew, and then I was like, cool, I don't need to do these challenges anymore. I can just coach people on a monthly basis. And then moved back from Dubai, COVID hit, and I already had an online presence. So I was like, COVID was fucking amazing for me. Like, I can't lie.
It was the same for me.
COVID was unreal. I've probably never felt, the business maybe makes more money now, but I personally have never made more money than that era of my life, or never felt as rich anyway, because I went from not making a lot to feeling like I was making tons and tons of money. That was like that 2 year period was just like, I still like, that's one of my favourite eras of like running a business, because it just felt like things were coming together.
Everybody else was crumbling.
Pretty much. Sitting on my throne. No, I'm joking. It was a good period, I can't lie. And there is a lot of businesses that went under. Maybe not fit. Yeah, there's a lot of gyms actually that went under during COVID. And it's like a genuine, real shame. But there's also other businesses that thrived. And I think I've always said that with any sort of era. Like, usually if a lot of money's flowing one way and it's then flowing against someone else, so that there's always going to be people benefiting and not benefiting, I suppose.
If you're putting all your money into dodgy masks that don't work as well, that would have been good.
Exactly.
So you've done all that, and then skip forward. Like I said, don't want to touch too much on that. Where did the idea come for MTN? Was that before COVID? It was, or just a bit COVID?
So pre-COVID, it was me and two guys that worked under like David Hatt. So they just coached my clients essentially, and then I was like, this isn't motivating for them to work under me. Like, I was, locally, I was a somebody. That's in certain brackets if you're just listening to this. Right. But like, I wasn't really an MD. But I was like, if I build a brand, that's more attractive for other people to maybe want to work under. Like, I wouldn't want to just work under like David Hatt, but working under something else for me felt like that little bit more attractive. Yeah. So MTN was born. It was initially going to be called RME, which was Results Made Easy, which I still quite like. Right. Still quite like that. I've still got the domain, so maybe I'll launch another business at some point, a faceless brand. And then MTN Coaching was born, and then across the last kind of 6 years, it's had lots of different iterations. Different coaches have come in and out. Some of the core team have stayed the same, and we've grown together. Some of them have left. Two of my best mates started their own gym as well. So like, they met through MTN, and then they've now got a gym together, which is phenomenal. So it's led to a lot of opportunities, not just for me, like for the coaches that come into it as well. So it's been quite a nice place for people to grow, and it's a place where some people want to grow forever in it, and that's great, and some people will spend a few years with MTN and they'll go and do their own thing, and I'm totally cool with that.
I mean, class.
So far.
It's definitely different when you start working with a team and all that, and you've got people under you, and you obviously need to control that and change things and work with them. Mm-hmm. What was it that made you think, right, this isn't working me on my own, and I want a team, I want to make something bigger than what was it just supply and demand? You had too many inquiries, was it? Or?
Supply and demand initially, and probably ego. So two things. Supply and demand, like, I had a lot of ego, because it looked cool having people work under me. 100%.
It does look
I was like 25, and I was like, oh, this would be class if I had like staff. Even though I've never referred to them as staff since that day, but my team. David. 100%. Like, I've always said that. Like, I've never said I'm their boss, because the way that the business is structured, I'm quite literally not their boss either. But a part of it was supply and demand. I had 82 online clients at one point, and we had 152 people on a waiting list to start, and it was quite literally when somebody finished, I'd take somebody else on. Right. I was like, don't get me wrong, I have no waiting list anywhere near that right now for bespoke coaching or whatever else, but like, it was really in demand again, because there was me and there was a few other PTs that I can think of doing it in the kind of Glasgow area, like online coaching, but it wasn't a big thing. So, and I had a lot of results. I got really good results with people, and that was the biggest driver. Mm-hmm. So it was supply and demand, and then genuinely like ego, it was like, oh, this would be cool if people worked under me. Mm-hmm. And then that sort of started moving towards, actually, I can physically just help more people if I've got a bigger team and I have different products, services, things. So it did actually genuinely move into like, cool, I can help more people if I change how this business operates.
I think you see more and more this kind of cropping up of like, maybe not try to emulate you, but like a coach, they're successful, they try to have coaches work under them, and then you see that they're like changing coaches all the time. It's just, there's not the demand there.
Yeah.
So I think people need to kind of...
Well, it's hard. Like you've obviously got, you know, teams to an extent as well with the coaches that work in your facility. And it's hard. It's hard to build culture. It's hard to keep people motivated. It's hard to actually be aligned with like 10 different people's values. Like everyone wants different things. Not everyone wants to make the most amount of money. Some people just want more reputation. So it's hard. I've always thought the same with, I see a lot of coaches launch something with someone else, and I sometimes just think, why have you done that? You've just split the profit straight down the middle. I see it all the time. I think if you're going to go into business with someone else, like I've never had a business, actually I have had a business partner, but I've never necessarily had a long-term business partner. One, because I'm a control freak and I like doing things myself. But two, I was like, well, why would I want to just split my profit down the middle? Yeah. For me, if you're going into business with someone else, you both need to provide two very different skills so that you can pull from that, in my opinion. One person does one aspect of the business, one person does another aspect. If you're both just doing the same thing, why not just do it individually? Unless you are just like, you know, team community, maybe like that's definitely a reason to have that. But I see a lot of coaches do that. They partner up with someone. And I'm like, why did you do that? Because you already had a cool thing and you've got this person now that I'm always like, what do they bring to it? And if you know, if they can say, oh, they bring this and this, fair enough. But I kind of see that. I see that quite a lot.
Yeah.
See that a lot.
So how do you make it work with you? Because you've got quite a big team now. So how do you make it work with them in terms of like, do you try to make it like we're a team kind of thing? Because obviously, to an extent, are they competing against themselves? Like, they're kind of working under you. Why would they not do it on their own? Like, because obviously it works. And I don't, as far as I'm aware, you don't have a high turnover of coaches.
So like, there's 11 of us.
What makes it click and what makes it work? Like,
I don't know if the turnover of coaches is high or not high. There's been 20 coaches across 6 years. There's currently 11. So there's like 9 people that have done their own thing, and almost all of those exits have been super amicable, and almost all of them I'm still really pally with. There's the odd one that...
None that you're like, you're shit.
There's the odd bit of drama, you know, but we'll not dive into that unless you really want to. Yeah, if you want. I don't actually care. So I don't know if that's a high or low turnover. I think like over the years, I just learn a little bit more about leading a team. I learn a little bit more about hitting people's values, but I still know, like right now, the 11 coaches that are here right now might not be the 11 coaches that are here in 15 years. They also might be. Maybe I'm going to get better and better and better at leading a team. So things might change. But I do ask, like, you know, why do they stay themselves? Because they could potentially make more money not working within the MTN brand. So then I'm like, well, cool, maybe it's not just financial for them. There are other reasons that people want to be part of a team. Quite simply, to be part of a team, personal development, education, events, community, training, like I think education I said, but there is other reasons, and I think that took me a while to realise, like not everyone, like I said, wants to make like all of the money possible. Some people just want to be part of something. Equally, they're very incentivised. They all make like probably top 10% in the online coaching space. That's what they earn. So yeah, some of them it's financial, some of them like I need to keep motivating to be able to make more money, and some of them it's like opportunity, it's status, it's reputation, it's progression, it's titles to an extent as well, like head coach, whatever else.
Because MTN definitely has a reputation now as well, especially with 12-week peak and the amount of people that you work with. But I think what you said about being part of a team, because you probably felt it yourself, like for sure I have, like when you're online coaching, it's quite a lonely thing to be doing. You're sitting on a laptop all the time. No one else to really...
Yeah, we spoke about this. I think like you probably started personal training to not have an office job. That's what I had done it as well. I was like, I don't want to sit at a desk all day. And then 6 years in, you're like, fuck it, give me a laptop.
And you're still doing it. It's just changed.
Now I quite literally have pretty much full-time office job. When I'm making content and doing fun things like that, it's like, cool, it's a little bit different. But largely, I sit at a laptop for 50 hours a week. Equally, as you grow, you I didn't want to be in the gym floor either.
Yeah.
So those kind of values, those change and develop
time
as well.
on the gym floor, like, isn't it? When you're busy,
yeah.
it's loads of time.
But
And it's
still,
like 9 o'clock at night.
I don't think PTs put in that time anymore.
No, they definitely
Do they?
don't. That's a big gripe I've got.
Same.
Like,
I love the eat shit era. The eat shit era
Yeah.
was
6
clients
a.m.
6 to 10.
split shift.
Yeah. Break 10 till 2,
Yeah.
maybe 10 till 3, and then you've got a client 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
For Monday to Thursday, Friday maybe you do mornings, Saturday you do mornings, Sunday you'd maybe take a day off.
Yeah.
That's what mine was for like 4 or 5 years.
Same, to be
and,
honest.
And nobody does it.
I had to go to another gym to train, so I was like, I need to see somewhere else.
So I didn't. I trained in
No,
the,
did you?
I trained in the same gym, but I actually used it as like that part of me. That was like my marketing, because I'd be like training and I was in pretty good shape for my age and stuff as well. So like people would see me training and I was always lean. So actually from a picking up more client standpoint, that worked for me.
Good.
But yeah, I don't think enough. A lot of coaches want to emulate like the success that maybe me and you have had, but don't want to do the 4 or 5 years worth of eating shit that me and you have had. Yeah. That's what I see.
And in a weird way, I kind of enjoyed it as well. I don't know why, because it was like...
You can look back and enjoy it, but it's fucking hard. Yeah,
why do you think that is, that it's not the same anymore in terms of like...
Social media, for sure. Social media...
People think it should be easier.
People think it should be easier, but people can now see that that's not the only way to do it. So, I mean, there's coaches that have got zero coaching on floor experience that are making 10 grand a month online. So it's like people see, they're like, oh wait, actually if I don't become a good coach and I just become good at marketing, I can make a lot of money. I know plenty of people that are, you put somebody in front of them doing a deadlift and doing it wrong and they wouldn't be able to correct it.
Yeah.
But they're making an obscene amount of money online because they can create really cool videos for Instagram.
Yeah, and so, be polarising in a way.
Yeah, 100%. So, and again, like a lot of people have a bit of hate for like James Smith, but James Smith's quite similar to me and you in the sense of he ate shit. He done all the PT floor hours, and regardless of what you think of his content, like he's one of the, I think, GOATs in the space. Like he's fucking nailed it, but he's also nailed it in what I assume to be the right way.
Yeah.
He's personal trained. He moved into online coaching. He moved into sort of like group online coaching. He scaled multiple businesses and whatever else. I think that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
It's not the only way to do it though. But me and you have a bias towards what we done because we're like, people should have to go through that.
Like
you don't have to.
Pay your dues kind of thing.
I'm a bit like that, and but it's also because I think it makes you a better coach.
It does,
and I think if you want to do this long term, you want that. You want to be a good coach as well as cool enough how to get clients.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, I kind of started this podcast to educate coaches and like give a perspective like from all different coaches and stuff like that, and hopefully people can pick things up from it. It's kind of grew arms and legs, and now I'm just kind of doing what I enjoy. Like,
finding my mates like that, you want to jump on.
I'm just kind of asking like you, like Harry or whatever, stuff I kind of want to know, like what yours are
other
doing
people
now.
will be wondering that as well. So.
But the reason that I decided I shouldn't do what I was doing is because I was listening to a Hormozy podcast, and he said the reason businesses fail, or they don't grow, is you've got that, it's going well, it's growing, then you think, right, what's next? And you start to do something else and you try to grow that alongside it. And then I thought, that's exactly what I'm going to do. When the gym's the main thing, and I'm just going to flip-flop and do something else as well alongside it, and it's not going to work. So scrap this, make it for the gym.
Yeah.
I've obviously seen you post a lot about Hormozy. Has he been one of the biggest kind of influences on you? Or was there somebody before him? Like, or was he the first kind of guy that you've seen talking about marketing and stuff like that?
I hate when people say, like, I found this guy before he was popular. I genuinely have watched some of his content for like 7 years. So when he had gyms and when he had Gym Launch, I watched a lot of his content, and it was, don't know if you've seen any of his old YouTube videos, and it's quite literally him in an office with a whiteboard, massive beard and mustache. So I like actually watched his stuff for years. He's got a book called Gym Launch Secrets, which no one knows he's got because he's got his big kind of 3 books now. Read that book, it was absolutely incredible. So Hormozy actually done Russell Brunson's mentorship, and Russell Brunson was one of the first influences that I had in business. He's got a book called Expert Secrets, and he's got a book called Traffic Secrets and something else. He still is one of the biggest people in the internet marketing space. He learned from a guy called Dan Kennedy, so I then read all Dan Kennedy's books. Dan Kennedy learned from a marketer called like David Ogilvy. So there's like a kind of chain of like these people. And Hormozy is essentially like not a descendant, but like a lot of his concepts and stuff came from Russell Brunson. He just tells it in a more attractive, better way for me. Also, because he came from the gym space, I'm like, great, his stuff's more relevant, and the guy's fucking jacked. It's just interesting. Seeing somebody that smart and that jacked. Most people that are jacked are dodos, you'll know that. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, definitely.
So it's nice to see, like, fuck me, you could be jacked and like superhuman genius. So yeah, he was definitely an influence, but also his sort of mentors were people that I read a lot of stuff from before that. Mosey's a hard one for me because I look at that guy and he's 35 or 36.
Yeah.
Same with Ben, who owns Gymshark? Ben,
I know who you're talking about.
whatever his name is. I look at those guys and they're like our age largely, if not younger than you. Tiny, in fact, Ben's younger than me. I'm like, how have you done that? Like, how? I just think it's both motivating and depressing at the same time. That's what I always look at people like Hormozy. I'm like, what have you done differently? Equally, he's got zero life. That's what he's probably
or
done
he
differently.
Didn't at a time anyway, at least.
Yeah, so definitely a big influence. But if anyone's listening to this, like, cool, his content's great, but you'll know yourself, a lot of it's like, you know, if you're doing 10 million a month, it's like, fuck, I'm not doing 10K, like,
the podcast, he's getting people on, and that's what they're talking about.
Exactly. You're like, what the fuck? And there's concepts that are suitable for everyone within that as well. But there's a lot of stuff that's like quite high level. It's like you need to start here. And for me, like Russell Brunson, Dan Kennedy's books were like two big kind of cornerstones of my marketing and business education anyway. Yeah.
It's quite good listening to those things, and even though it is like mental numbers and stuff, and like just getting an idea of like where their mindset goes and stuff like that. So I like getting chats with you, just different things that are going on.
Also
and
just what's possible in it.
Fires different things. And that's how I think, flipping back to like educating coaches side of things, that's how I think more of them should do education and network with each other and go to as many events as you can.
Yeah, like the event that you ran in, was that November you done that?
November.
There needs to be like, they should be quarterly. There should be these sort of events put on at a regular basis. Coaches also do like going to them for a bit of a to post it on social media. Like if that's all the reason you go for, like, you know, and you learn something, it's like great. But like it's you should be upskilling, you should be doing these things. Like me and you both done a lot of stuff kind of on the way up. And I'm guilty of maybe not doing as much as I should right now. There's definitely like, I'd like to maybe not get in a mentorship, but I'd like to do some more sort of business marketing education stuff as well. It's just hard when you've got a gym to run or you've got a team to run and you're like, right now I need to go and find 6 hours to do this. Equally, it's, you know, if it wasn't hard, everyone would do it. So it's definitely something I need to do a lot more of, for sure.
On that side of things, I know you definitely, well, I seen the other day, you were doing Q1 meetup and stuff like that. Do you do a lot of, I know you do a lot of education and stuff like that with your coaches and stuff, and so do you have that planned out for the year or just go with it quarterly or whatever? Like, how do things work in the team?
Yeah.
Again, this is a selfish point of view. Like, you've had a team for a while.
Good with me, because you do a lot of like education with your team.
I do a lot, but I'm like winging it, so it'd be quite good to hear.
Our initial like onboarding for new coaches is quite heavy on where should a client start with certain phases, what sort of training split should they be doing. So it's kind of...
So you've got like a pre-made thing of like, you need to watch all this content.
Yeah, or like
when
not
you start
even.
coach.
I want to film it because it's not filmed currently. I fucking go through it with every new coach, which is a long time.
Right.
So right now it's like it's all documented, and it's very much going through these processes of this is how we coach, this is how we do setups, this is how we do check-ins, this is how we offboard, this is what a referral process looks like, retention process, offboard, and blah blah blah. But I want to film it, so it's like easier to consume for sure. And alongside that, so it's like a big upfront amount of sort of education to get them to a kind of baseline of what we need. And then Alex, one of my head coaches, he's sort of recently assumed the role of head of coach development. So he's a little bit more education heavy on, you know, reverse dieting. If a client hits a fat loss plateau, what should you be looking at? Is there certain supplements people should take? I don't necessarily have as much to do with the hardcore coaching stuff now, just because I do it less as well. Like,
so he'll do that with the guys, like separately, and like
he'll do that
in his own diary and go, right guys, this is when we're doing this. And
so like last year we had a meeting twice a week, Tuesday, Thursday. Tuesdays was very much me, business marketing, what's next for MTN. Thursdays was very much Alex, coach, how to coach, what to do, making changes, kind of standards to an extent. This year's a little bit different, but like that's kind of what we're looking to do. Alex takes over that side of things. I take over business marketing, vision, goal setting, whatever else. And that's kind of what I want. Because naturally, I don't coach anyone right now. Kirsty, my partner's the only person that I'm like, I say coaching, I wrote her a training plan, and I'm slapping her if she's eating ice cream. She's the only person I coach. So I felt after a while of me doing that, they get more from Alex because he's coaching 40 clients, 50 clients a week. So it's better coming from him.
Yeah. That's class though. I think that should be more of a kind of standard of what goes on. I was always going about it. I did. In fact, you've been down to MTN before. Did MTN. It was amazing. Yeah. Pure changed the way I looked at everything because I was coaching for a few years before that, not doing a lot of stuff, and then you're like, fuck, there's another level here. So I don't know what you're looking for when you get a new coach in, whether it is they're quite entry level and then you're training them up quite a bit. But either way, if you got all those processes in line, they're going to give a decent service right off the bat. Especially with 2 calls a week. Yeah.
And we of course want them to have a basic understanding, but we've taken coaches at various different stages for various different reasons. Some of them because I know they'll be great at marketing, and I'm like, great, we can get you busy quick. And some of them because I'm like, you're a phenomenal coach, but you don't know how to use social media to get clients, and we can sort of guide them in both ways. So a lot of what I do is not just how to coach better, it's very much how to market better, because that's what I love. If I'm being honest, I love marketing.
You ever took anybody that's brand new, just qualified?
Alan. So Alan
is the guy with the beard?
3 of them have beards. So
all right. Dark hair beard?
3 of them are tall, tattooed beards.
Right, okay.
Alan, actually, so we've also got a personal training course, so if people want to qualify, they can do that through us. Yep. Alan done that, and then was working with Alex as a client, done the full, you've done all these things with us, and I was like, he's just got it. He's just got it, man. He's so fucking driven. He had so much prior education because Alex did coached him for 2 years. So I was like, he knows how we work.
Yeah. So he fits in the systems.
And he was a total risk. 0 experience, had been in-person coaching for 3 months, so brand new, and came on board. I think he's sitting at 38 clients at £200 a month, a reasonable price point.
Right.
Guy's fucking killing it. Brand new to coaching. So you can do it. I don't think everyone can do what Alan's done though. I'm not going to sit here and be like, everyone could do that. Now, you need to be at a certain stage. He'd also ran his own business for 10 years, painting and decorating. He had a lot of those mindsets,
a lot of
organisation. I don't think, even as much as I think I'm quite good at what I do, I don't think I could take, a 19-year-old fresh out of PT school that's got no social media presence and whatever else, and make them as successful as Alan
grow up along the way.
in that time frame. I think I could do it over a longer horizon, but I don't think I could do it that quickly. Yeah, for sure.
You're maybe not at the place to give that much time
and
to do it.
I have had coaches that we've brought on that is quite literally just flat out not worked with. Yeah. So it's not you don't just join MTN and you're an overnight success. You still need to have a lot of the puzzle pieces, and we just maybe help you put them together. That's a good phrase. Oh yeah, clap that baby. So yeah, it's not like you don't just make it. And again, looking at the coaches in the brand, they're all doing exceptionally well, but there's still a top 20%. I say bottom 20%. There's the people doing the best. There's the people not making as much money, not having as many clients, and then there's the people in the middle. Yeah. That's the same as your clients. If you look at your list of clients, there's 20% absolute A players, 20% that struggle to get back to you, and you've got the middle of the road people. That's just life and business. You're always going to kind of have the law of averages, I suppose.
No matter what, you're never going to get away with that.
Exactly, and you can make your standards better, and I'm sure some of the top prep coaches in the world maybe have better quality clients than me and you did, for example. But I can guarantee they still then got the 5 that place at Mr. Olympia and the 5 that are doing local shows. So you're always going to have that.
Yeah. Aye. Obviously, from that kind of standpoint, like I said, the MTN had that M10.
Yeah.
Getting them mixed up.
I know, I stole it from them.
All these M's. That had a big influence on how I want to kind of run our gym and have our coaches.
Yeah, I love that.
It's definitely a little bit of a different setup.
No one's doing that though. I think you need to take a step back and look at how good that is, because I presume your coaches pay you rent.
Aye. So we're on a rent thing. I think in M10 it was they got paid.
Yeah, they get paid a salary. So find me somewhere that and in fact, you know what? We've got a similar setup because my coaches technically pay me a consultancy fee, which is largely rent. Right. And I give them education and personal development. You do the same, but if you look at any other gym, regardless if it's a budget gym or a private gym, you pay your rent and that's it. Yeah. It's cool. Enjoy.
I don't know any in Scotland that's doing that. Just the same though, is there any online coaching companies in Scotland?
Not doing the same setup. There's a few people that, like you said, they've got them, and they've got a few successful people coming off the back of it. I actually had a really good call just before this with, do you follow Ben Bray?
I know who he is.
I had a call with him. He was literally just picking my brains about he wants to grow a team. There's 4 of them right now.
He's got a team, isn't he?
And he's like, oh, how did you do it? Blah, blah, blah. It was a really, really good call. It was quite nice to just have somebody like kind of chasing a similar thing to be like, what did you do? And I am an open book. Like, if anyone wants to do something similar, like, you'll know, like, I don't really gatekeep anything.
Yeah.
Like, this is who I use for this. This is who I use for this. This is what I
said that
do.
to me before,
This is the percentages, blah, blah, blah. So I am an open book because you can ask my coaches and they'll tell you themselves as well. So, no, I think what you're doing is really fucking cool, especially in the in-person space, because no one does it. And in my eyes, your coaches will hate me for saying this, but like, they should pay you more rent because they presumably pay you the probably standard going rate.
We did just make them aware. Change the rents.
There we go. But like, if you're giving them that, then why not? Because you're giving them something additional to anyone else. So I think that's massive, and I think even just getting 6 months of that level of personal development, if it's a monthly or a weekly insertion, I think that's massive, mate. So I think that's a cool thing you're doing.
Well,
sure.
like I said, it's just influences from other people, and you try to make it your own.
Yeah.
Obviously, not to the extent. I remember a couple of times you've put up about people literally calling at the 12-week peak.
Oh, aye. There's a guy in Liverpool that's got 12-week peak physiques. Follows me. I don't know if he does now.
You like just blatant enough to follow you, not even doing it in the background.
But he spelled, a guy's a fucking Mongo. Excuse my language, but he spelled week as in W-E-A-K. So it's like 12, like week, as in you are weak.
Right, yeah.
Physiques. So he spelt that in some ways, Brandon, and the rest of it's the week spelt right. So he's quite literally made a mistake.
Right.
That guy flat copied me. There's another gym. I'm just going to call them out. There's another gym in, I think it's Castle Milk, or like pretty close.
Oh, right, close, aye.
Called CrossFit MTN. And I reached out to them and they were like, nah, we're not changing it. But they've recently changed their name, but all they've done is taken CrossFit out of it. So they're now like MTN training or something like that.
Right.
And I'm just like, come on. And it doesn't mean the same thing. Like MTN for us is mindset training nutrition.
Yeah.
I think theirs means like move the needle or something like that, some CrossFit term.
Right, okay.
I fucking hate that, if I'm being completely honest. I've never actually spoken about this in a podcast, but like, have some originality.
Aye.
Like, again, they would have known who we are in some way, shape or form. And then that's not me having an ego. That's just like in the local space of Glasgow, MTN is relatively well known just because of the volume of clients and coaches that we have. And again, the guy followed me, or someone from his gym followed me. So I'm like, yous know. And I sent him a nice message being like, look, like we've kind of called our, because people have reached out to me now saying, oh, like, have yous got a gym? And I'm like, no, this is where it gets confusing. Because if someone is like, oh, I've heard of MTN, I'm going to go and find them. And they like show up at this gym and start doing CrossFit. Like, stop. So yeah, stuff like that really kind of.
There's a guy in there called David.
The bald guy.
Mobbed. They all think it's you.
Shit, man. But it does annoy me. Like, there's so many ways to like run a business and do things, and it's actually one of my gripes with the business mentor space. Everyone ends up with a copy and paste business.
Oh, definitely.
Copy and paste content, copy and paste pricing model, copy and paste system for check-ins. And like, you know, what I do is like I built that for my own team. Like, we've technically got a copy and paste model within, we've got a structure that all the MTN coaches deliver.
Yeah.
But I just look at all these businesses that are trying to stand out, and I'm like, you're all doing the same thing. Like, have a little bit of like originality, like change things. Even like with you, like the fact that you own a gym and educate the coaches that work in the gym. We've just spoke. No one else does that. I think it's a really cool thing to do. So good job. Good job.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
Good job.
Don't call anything else MTN. We'll have David on for another round.
Exactly.
So yeah, the education's a big thing for you guys.
Yeah.
Where did you kind of take that from?
I've done some stuff with M10 from an education standpoint. I've done stuff with Eugene Tiao, kind of wee Indonesian. I think he's Indonesian.
Yep.
Australian guy. Done stuff with him. I worked with. You ever heard of Jake Carter?
Did we not speak about that?
Oh, the hormone.
Old guy, and he's fucking.
My God.
Yeah.
I went on a course with him once, and it was like the guy's superhuman, smart to the extent of like he's not all right.
Yeah.
So I've done a little bit with him, but at the time completely went over my head. Again, I told you a minute ago I founded Hormozy. Obviously, it's a lie, but founded Hormozy's content really early from a business standpoint. But Huberman's content, I watched Huberman's first podcast. It was on Rich Roll, if you've ever watched any of Rich Roll's podcasts. Huberman was one of the first people I went to for education and development outside of just like hardcore lifting weights and whatever else.
Didn't know he actually done.
Yeah, so like
that.
sleep, lifestyle, and whatever else, stress management, the whole, get sunlight when you first wake up, sleep hygiene and whatever else. So Huberman was maybe 5-6 years ago. he wasn't a big thing. He was just putting out his own wee podcast, and then he started going on guests, and his brand now is massive. It was consumed, like binge consumed all of his stuff when he was coming up. I think now he gets a lot of hate because he's got to a stage now where he's getting these random ass guests on because he needs to not stay relevant, but like be interesting. A lot of people are like, oh, these people, it's not science backed and whatever else. So there's a bit of that now. His first stuff was just so good. So that was a big source of like education for me.
Have you ever went down the mentoring route? No.
I've done a little bit of stuff with Mark Coles and just as lockdown hit, and that was like a really short term 6-week thing. I have paid a business mentor before that wasn't. He's not big in the
you never done it.
fitness space. He was awful.
Oh, really?
$2,000 a month.
$2,000 a month?
$2,000 a month. And then he sold me that weekly call, whatever else. I was like, great, amazing.
With him though?
It was with him.
It was going to be with him.
It was with him, and he was really successful, not in the fitness space. He was a successful copywriter, actually. So it was very much business. And business and like lifestyle design. That's what the kind of mentorship was meant to be like. And the whole time he told me to write a book. What was I writing a book about at 24 years old? Honestly, like...
Oh, so you were that young?
24, 25, yeah. Right, I need you to write a book and I want you to host a festival, right? Which pissed myself at the time at. But see now, like a festival, I am actually going to host a festival at some point.
Right.
We can chat about that if you want, but... anyway, total waste of time. Outside
How long
of
did you
that,
stick that out for?
Far too long. I think I paid
like 30 grand down.
I think I paid him between 12 and 16 grand. So like 6 to 8 months worth of it. Again, young, naive. He was very, I'm going to say manipulative actually, on like keeping a young guy on a leash. Yeah, and when you're that age, you'll listen to it. Like if somebody's driving a Lambo or whatever else, you'll sign me up. So I was a bit young and naive with that one. Mark Coles had some good stuff from Mark. It was just a really short-term thing I done with him. And outside of that, I've stayed clear of all of the big mentors, thankfully.
I was with Phil.
Phil, yeah.
Aye. And it was good to an extent. It was a lot of fucking money, though.
Phil, initially, I think what he was doing was phenomenal. And then I think it got a little bit more diluted. So it's a hard one because, like...
got too big too quick,
I can't, like... I don't want to shit on any mentors because some of them... if you look at like the art of business is who makes the most money largely, and
they probably all have some good stuff.
100%, they're all saying largely the same thing as well.
Aye.
But Phil, out of all of the mentors, maybe Charlie Johnson now, but those are the two people that have made the most money.
He's had a lot of fucking hate, though, hasn't
he? But he doesn't give a fuck. He cycles through leads like nobody's business. He's DM'd me like 45 times. There's like zero shame. It's not him, but like...
Same with the guy, Steve McGrath.
Oh, he was brutal.
I've blanked you like 10 times in the last 2 months.
Yeah, there's a few people I really like. Dan and Mike from Business and Banter.
Aye.
Because I like them because the way that they've built a business is how I'm building mine. So I say that I'm against mentors. I'm not against. There's people that build a business the way that I would prefer, and there's people that build a business in the way that they would prefer. Yeah. Some people send cold DMs. I've never done that. Some people run paid ads. I've never done that. Some people post organic content. That's what I've done. I resonate with that. That worked for me.
Yeah.
Some people are really bad at content. Organic content would not be a good way for them to do things. So there's just multiple ways to build a fitness business. Just kind of finding what feels good for you, I think.
Do you think you'd ever go down that route of like doing mentoring yourself, or even like a version of it, of what you do with your guys, but then offering it out, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I've thought about that. I mean, essentially, so I've got a few different businesses. We've got the MTN Coaches Academy, which is taking aspiring PTs, and we put them through a level 2 and level 3 qualification, the usual bog standard shite course. And then I've built a course off the side of that that's largely like, here's how I would build a business if I was starting again.
Right, okay.
So it's 24 hours worth of content built on a school platform, and it's very much you can sign up and work through that. We don't sell that in isolation. It's not something I push and promote. The people that get that are the people that are signing up to do the level 2 and level 3 course. So I'd maybe look into it. I do struggle with, like, I like to coach my team because, well, one, I directly benefit from it for sure. That's definitely a reason. And two, I've kind of hand selected who they are, and I know that I know that they're good for the industry. Yeah. There's a lot of people that like do the PT course and whatever else. And I'm like, I don't know if you'll ever do anything with this. Like, I don't know if it's worth me pouring my heart, soul, and effort into like helping you build this when you're like, you kind of don't care.
Yeah. I've kind of said that a few times recently. Like, obviously the fitness industry is getting bigger and bigger, there's more and more people leaving their jobs that are like 30s, maybe even 40s,
Yeah.
and they're looking to do this. And I'm thinking, in 10 years' time, what happens when there's all these people that are 50 and they're still PTing? What are they going to do? Because there's not going to be a market for that many 50-year-old PTs, and not everybody's going to pivot.
I know.
Like
I think
we've
about this a
kind of
lot.
done.
I think about this a lot.
It's only recently I've been thinking about it because I've had more and more clients kind of change and they want to start doing PT.
Yeah.
And then I start thinking, fuck man, what's going to happen here?
Yeah, like a lot of people view PT as like a young man or young person.
I do too.
A young person's job because it's a new career, really. Like personal training back in the day, you'd maybe get some PTs in a David Lloyd or a commercial or a council gym, but like there was no such things as pure gyms. The gyms, exercise for lesses, gyms were privately owned or there were big corporations, David Lloyd's and council gyms. That was kind of it. And the personal trainers that worked for them were on a shitty salary, which meant it attracted shitty quality coaches on the most part, not always. But now that it's a higher earning job, like you can make 200 grand as a coach.
Right.
Like not easily, but if you've got 60 clients a month at 250, right, which not a lot of people can charge, but I do know people that charge that. 60 clients per month at £250 a month is £180,000 a year. It's more than a doctor, it's more than a surgeon, it's more than an accountant, a lawyer, dentist, vet. You've never went to uni, you've never had like actual formal qualifications, and you've got the ability to earn 180 grand. It's a fucking mental opportunity because it's unregulated. But yeah, think about the whole, what about these 50-year-olds? But do
you feel like there will be a market for it?
Yeah, because, well, what age are you?
34.
So your clients are probably plus or minus 10 years of you. I would say the vast majority of your clients are 24 to 44. Yeah? As you age, that just continues. So if you're 50 in personal training, you're just coaching 40-year-olds and 60-year-olds. Because, more people will die as they get older, for sure. But there's still going to be a need and a demand for older clients. Because you're getting older. And again, you're just then going to attract an older market. Like the 60-year-olds, if there was lots of 60-year-old PTs, would probably gravitate towards training a 60-year-old. Same as like, if you're 50 years old and a 19-year-old PT is trying to get you to work with them, you're like,
Oh, well, that's definitely less likely to happen.
Exactly. Whereas if you're 50 and you're a 50-year-old PT, you're like, I'll probably go with a guy similar to my age. He's probably got kids himself. He understands that life's a bit harder and blah, blah, blah. So I do think there's a market there, but I also, on the opposite end, I'm interested in like AI and what that's going to make the PT industry look like.
I don't see with that. I don't know if that's going to have a big effect because I think people do like when it's personal training.
Yeah,
the personal side of it.
Yeah, but that's
maybe with online coaching. Maybe that will change things. I don't know.
I think with online coaching, it will change things. I think with programming in general, like we spoke about this briefly last week. If you prompt ChatGPT properly, it is actually very fucking good. Like we all coaches slag AI, but mostly because there's a bit of fear of like, fuck, what if people just go and fucking ChatGPT. But if you know what to prompt it, which is the issue, most people don't. We know how to prompt it.
It's still the accountability,
100%.
the kind of personal touch. Even with online coaching, there's the personal touch.
100%.
Sure.
But I'm gonna go fucking way left field here, but like, sex robots.
Is that like really a thing? Like a big thing?
So sex robots are becoming a thing in the sense of like they're building these robots that have like fleshy kind of feeling parts that creepy guys can bang, right?
This is taking a turn.
Or girls, sorry. But obviously right now they probably look like robots. They don't move like human beings. They don't speak properly, right? But see if you actually look at the rise of men talking to AI chatbots that are AI, it's massive. Like massive. So they don't care where it's coming from, providing that they feel like they're getting connection. Now this is for a small group of weird human beings. But AI is only going to get better. Robots are only going to get more realistic to look like human beings. And I know that this is like
going to be weird in 50 years time.
This is like pure Terminator shit. But like in 20 years time, you'll get a robot that probably can look exactly like me and you. Even look at like this is so fucking off topic.
Where are we going?
If you look at ChatGPT and AI since it first came out, like we probably discovered it 2 years ago, but it's been about for maybe 4. Have you ever used it for like image generation?
I've not paid for it, so it takes so fucking long.
It takes long. It's mostly shite, but more recently, it's getting better and better. There's like an advert that was recently made and it was fully AI and nobody knew. Right. So it's just going to get better and better. So it's the same goes with online coaching. If there's a way to program something with empathy and there's a way to program it with this. Yeah. I'm not saying this will be the case. I'm just saying it's something to consider that it'll be a challenge in the next 10 years. Because if I could program to just, instead of training a team, if I could just program 10 robots to be exactly like me as a coach, because I think I'm really good, and be like, you're technically still getting a part of me. I'll review all the plans, overview, but like, there's going to be a robot reaching out to you Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then if you get issues, like, I will personally get in touch.
A robot reaching out.
Do you know what I mean? I think people don't realise that it'll change things. I don't know how quickly or what it'll look like, but I think it'll change things a lot.
Thank fuck I've got you.
Exactly. That's the thing.
Hopefully it doesn't change that too much.
Exactly, and there's things like that because I always think with AI, like joiners, tradesmen, like that trade's going to get more and more popular, and that's going to be where the money's at. If somebody can build something.
Loads of folk have said that recently.
100%. I really believe that up until a certain point, and then there'll be a robot that can bricklay better than you because it can line stuff up. Yeah, and then we're all in fucking universal credits.
You need to be involved in AI to be able to earn any money.
I think this is my son that will need to deal with this. I'll be dead, but it's not that far away. Like, and like the rate of progress that the world makes right now is like rapid, and compared to like 200 years ago. So anyway, that was a bit Joe Rogan, a bit fucking. Anyway, let's talk about aliens. It was out there, but I believe that.
It's a scary thought.
But 50-year-old PTs will be a thing, I think.
Aye.
If they want to.
Yeah, if they want to. Okay. Obviously, you're well past that. You don't coach anybody now. What would you class yourself as now?
Just a wanker.
Would you say a businessman? If somebody asked you,
I'd say business owner.
You're a coach or you're a business owner?
Yeah, I actually used to get
really... business owner?
Probably just business owner, because I've got 3 different businesses, so probably just like business owner / operator. I wouldn't use the term CEO, even though that's technically what I am. It just sounds a bit wanky unless you're like...
No, it sounds good, man.
Think so?
Aye,
Fuck it, I'm a CEO.
CEO of MTN.
CEO of myself.
Well, what the fuck's that? That'd be... When you go to America and spout that to people...
Well, I remember when people used to ask me what I did, then I got really embarrassed to be like, I'm a personal trainer. Because like, you know what, like a personal trainer assumption is like, doesn't make a lot of money, doesn't know a lot of things. And I was like, I make all right amount of money, and I believe I'm fairly smart. So I used to get quite embarrassed.
Especially people that don't know anything about coaching or anything like that.
Oh, like
people involved in it are like,
that's cool. But if you're not involved, like PT, I think just I'm a PT. Like that just sounds like, oh right, okay.
Yeah. Because I remember having a conversation with my barber. I know that sounds mad, but it does my beard.
Please tell me this.
And he was asking about like what we charge, and he couldn't believe, and he was like, a month? He was like, that's not a year you charge clients. I was like, yeah. And he was like, what the hell? He like couldn't believe.
You can make wild money in the fitness space. Like, I'm still probably middle of the road from an income standpoint. If you look at like the top 10% earners, like the money you can make in fitness is mental once you kind of solve the problem of fat loss, muscle building, body recomp, high rocks, whatever else. And that's my goal. Like, I want to continually grow in this to make I want to make, 1, a lot of money for me personally, but 2, I want a big ass company that benefits everyone that works in it. But yeah, I suppose I'd class myself as just like, I'd still say I'm a coach, because there's still elements of me that coach. I just coach in a different way. I coach the group coaching programs, and I coach a team to coach. So I think like business owner / coach would still be. And that was an identity thing I had to go over, because it was such a long period where I was like...
What, to be able to call yourself a coach?
To call myself a business owner.
Oh, to call yourself a business owner.
I was like, I'm a business owner? I'm just like, what am I? Who am I? But I'd probably gravitate towards like just general business owner now, because I don't really do as much of the... I still do a lot of programming, still do a lot of... on the group coaching programs that we do, 12-week peak, things like that.
You do a lot of that.
A lot of the videos, a lot of the education stuff for that. Like I do almost all of that still. This year will maybe be the year that I move away from that, and one of the other guys kind of takes on more and more of that, and I'm then very much like I'd say my skills are systems and marketing. Like I love processes.
You love the marketing?
Yeah, I like selling shit to people. Buy my stuff. I've never had a problem with like marketing myself, and I think that comes from being quite a egotistical wee guy and being like, do you know what I mean? I was a pure vain wee wanker. Now I'm just a big wanker.
Did you have hair then?
I had great hair. No, I had terrible hair. I've never had good hair. I actually like way better bald. I had pure wispy, curly, terrible hair. Justin Bieber. And now we're bald legends, mate.
I know.
Bald life smarter. That's what I was saying.
Would you go back? I wouldn't go back.
1, I couldn't, and 2...
but if you could...
Nah, because I thought about this. My kind of thought process when I had a bad receding hairline, I was like... I get a hair transplant? And I was like, why don't I shave it first? And if it looks
put it
all
through,
right.
Put it through the business.
Exactly, it's true. It's content. I was like, I'll shave my head first, and if it looks all right, I'll just not get a transplant. I feel like so many guys just decide that they're getting a transplant, and I'm like, and then they shave their head to get the transplant, right? And then I'm like, you look great bald. I'm like, just stay bald, and then their hair grows in after a transplant, and I'm like, ugh.
Some of them look terrible.
Some of them look terrible. Don't get me wrong, some of them are fucking
Some of them
amazing.
are good,
sometimes when a guy shaves his head to get the transplant, I'm like, nah, mate, you've nailed it. You're hitting Jason Statham right now. You look good.
Definitely. Yeah, no, I wouldn't go back. Like, it's just far too easy. Like, now.
I think it's part of my personality. I talk about being a baldy bastard all the time now, so I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. I actually met Kirsty, my partner, and I'd been bald for like a year, and I had grown a moustache for Movember, and I'm like, imagine her actually liking me like that. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
She must love you.
Or exactly. What a version of myself.
Anyway, we're taking our turn.
Sorry.
The 12-week peak, it's probably the biggest thing about your coach.
Like, for sure.
Everybody knows, goes MTN.
People probably know 12-week peak more than MTN, I'd say.
Yeah. I know you said you've always done this kind of thing. Where did that come from? When did that kind of take off?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, how did that?
How
did that become so big?
So it started like the way that I got busy with online coaching was basically these sort of challenges. Pay me money, and then the top 3 people, I will give you money back for doing well. It was like an incentive-based thing.
And then try and funnel them into.
And then funnel them into a higher price coaching, or funnel them into another challenge if I was doing it. I don't really like the word challenge now because it's not necessarily what we do. Like, it sounds cheesy, but like I say the 12-week peak's not a program, it's an experience, because I like truly believe that. Same with High Rocks. I was speaking to my team the other day and I said, all of us could go to any local gym and do High Rocks right now. Run around the building 3 times, jump in a ski, do that, jump in a sled, do that. You're not paying to do that. You're paying for the High Rocks experience. 12-week peak's the same. There's plenty of 12-week diet plans out there. There's plenty of coaches that offer 12-week coaching. There's plenty of programs that are 12 weeks long.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with that. It's to do with the actual experience of what we offer. So I'd always done these sort of, insert brackets challenges. And then 5 years ago, I was like, I wanted to get really lean. Like, I'm gonna do a shoot at the end of it. And I was like, does anyone want to follow the same program as me? Just follow it along with me for a bit of accountability. It's gonna be pretty cheap. It was like 270 quid or something like that. Me and 2 of the people that worked for the brand at the time launched it. Me, Dale, and a girl, Chantel. And 111 people signed up. 60 of them
were the first one.
60 of them were coaches. Don't be wrong, we already had a reasonable level of like people kind of knew of MTN to an extent. Then 111 people signed up, and we're like, wow, this is fucking great. 50 of them done the shoot, the fitness photo shoot. It was mostly personal trainers at that time. And then year 2, we kind of opened it up, and we're like, look, we want you to be experienced, but you don't need to be a coach. Like, we're looking to get more people involved. 256 people signed up. Year 3, same thing.
Imagine you know this off the top of your head.
Because I talk about it in my marketing. I think it was like 111, 256, 350, 2, year 3, 480, year 4, and then this year was 582. So it's grown like a lot.
So 600 this year?
700's the goal.
700.
Sorry, 600. Actually, shit, I shouldn't have said that. 600's the public goal. 700's my back of my mind goal that I've actually got in my head. I always have these things.
Right.
I tell people one goal, but I'm like, my actual goal's higher than that.
And then we'll see all the marketing that's about. They'll be mad.
So that'll be mad. So
Right,
it's just growing year by year, and it's a really cool thing. I fucking love it. Like, it's great. Like, it's obviously the end of it. We do this big photo shoot. We've got a black tie ball. We give away 10, 15 grand worth of prizes, holidays, money, trips, whatever else. And it's just been a great thing for the business. Like, I just love it. Like, the people that it attracts, it's always such good quality people as well. And it's just growing and growing and growing, and I hope it just keeps doing that because it's great.
800, 900,000.
Yeah, 1,000 people would be cool.
You talked about taking on more coaches this year. You were hoping
I'm
to get
going to 15 by the end of this year. So
okay.
Goals this year, 700 12-week peak, 15 coaches by the end of the year. It's kind of 2 big
Be able
things.
to scale it easy.
Yeah, a 12-week peak for me, like, I don't know if I'd want 1,000 people doing one. I'd want maybe...
Shoot would be chaos.
The shoot would be impossible. 300 people done the shoot this year.
You need a weekend event.
Fuck on, it already fucking is, man.
Okay.
What is it? 300 people done it this year. It was basically like
Right.
24, 20-hour, 20-person time slots. It was mental. So I'm now like, that's the thing, like, that's not coaching. That just becomes like, you're just an events manager, and it's not what I enjoy.
Yeah.
But the event's amazing. But yeah, I'd sooner launch 12-week peak in different cities rather than scale it to 1,000 people. I'd rather have Glasgow, 500 people. Dubai, 500 people. Manchester, 500. Like, that's probably where I'd want to go with that. I think that'd be cool. 'Cause 1,000 would be hard.
Aye.
But, you know.
I've seen you, obviously, you've talked about it a couple of times. There's my new jumper fluffing away.
Oh, mate, how annoying is that with new stuff?
It's even worse. Oh, man.
Velcro head.
Velcro head.
Everything comes off.
I had a guy in the airport come up to me when I was about to go on holiday. I had a new one. He was like, mate, I can't let you go out about the rest of the day with that.
A wee bit there. I've just seen it, though. I've just seen it. There we go. It's
he came up to me and he pulled it off the back of my head. I was like, thanks.
A bit weird, but thanks.
Yeah, new jumper.
That's funny, man. I'm the same whenever I get something new.
Yeah, what I was going to say was, I've seen you talk about the 12-week peak and just your coaching in general and stuff. And like, you've never been shy to mention like numbers and costs and like saying stuff like you said there about like funneling people into like a higher price point and stuff. Why do you see a lot of coaches and people in general have that kind of fear of talking about money and stuff like that? I don't think you do. Like, why do you think that is? Do you think it's just because you've done a lot of stuff around about business and spoke to different people that have loads of money, and like, why do you think it's?
Why don't I have the fear of talking about it?
Yeah, and like, why do you think it's such a big thing with coaches? It's like, oh, you don't talk about money, you don't mention that. It's salesy and it's dirty to be like.
I think coaches don't talk about money because they, more often than not, I think most coaches lie about how much money they make, if I'm being completely honest. So I'm just quite upfront. People can do the sums for themselves. Like, I always talk about how many people sign up to our programs. I just said 580 people done it. Now, don't get me wrong, there's probably 50-ish of those were like friends of family, people that won it the previous year that got it for free, blah, blah, blah. So like, let's say, for example, it's 500 people, we charge 450 quid. It's 202,500 quid. Like, that's how much the program makes, and that's cool. People see that number and they're like, oh my god, David's fucking loaded. It's like, there's a team of 10 people. The photo shoot alone costs 15 grand. We give away 15 grand worth of prizes. VAT's 20%. That's 40 grand to the government straight away. I've then got corporation tax. So I'm like, it looks like it makes a lot of money. I'm not saying it doesn't make a lot of money, but in the grand scheme, when you actually take into consideration, the welcome packs cost me 25 grand. Sending people out t-shirts and water bottles cost me fucking, do you know what I mean? So I'm just not.
Never mind the actual time to put it all together.
Time to put it
You're
together.
actually working to put it together.
Like working hours. Fit like marketing and stuff. Like the video that we put out every year costs about 5 grand. Like we're filming a video right now that's going to be fucking mental. So I'll get you to share it with your audience because it's going to be wild. But we were going to go off a movie theme every year.
Right. So you done Anchorman last year.
We done Anchorman last year. This year's
Can we know the
Wolf of Wall Street.
Right. Fuck, that would be so good.
It's going to be so stupid. Anyway, so there's things like that actually cost us a lot of money that we don't know if it makes us any money, but it's fucking a bit hella.
But it's good.
So no, I've just never been too fussed about talking about numbers because one, if people want to go in HMRC right now,
That's true.
type in me or your name, they can see to an extent what we make. Not exactly. There's other ways to pay yourself through businesses and blah blah blah. But I literally used to do this when mentors would share numbers that coaches were doing. I'd just be like, let me go on HMRC and I'd have a look and I'd be like,
no, it's no.
Either they've got the best accountant in the world or they're completely fucking lying, and it probably lies somewhere in the middle.
Got to be edited stripe screenshot.
100%, man. It's fucking, they've done it with paint. People can figure stuff out. Like, if people want to work stuff out, they can work stuff out. What they typically don't do, because again, people have said, I actually asked someone recently how much they thought I made, and they were off by 10x. They thought I was making 10 times more than what I actually take home pay type thing. And I was like, no, like what? I still shop in Tesco, not M&S. So no, I don't have
Waitrose.
A Waitrose. Where is there even a Waitrose? I can't even think of where one is.
There's one in Newton Mearns.
Is there? Of course there is. There used to be a Whole Foods in Newton Mearns as well. I remember going there, getting like 5 items for 90 quid. Anyway, I've just never. People can figure it out. People can ask me stuff if they want. I'm pretty open. There's, of course, some things that I'd maybe rather keep to myself, but most stuff I'm like, open book. Yeah. And if it helps other people as well, and I think it can be aspirational as well, if you're upfront. I've had months that have made zero money, and I've had months where...
I know, it's kind of one way or the other, like people either have a bit of a hate towards you and like just dislike, because like he's doing well for himself, dislike. Yeah, 100%.
People,
rather than like, that's fucking class.
Yeah, and that's a mindset thing. Like, I'm inspired by people making more money. Like I said about Alex Hormozy and whoever else. Like, there's an element of how did they do it, but the biggest element is, wow, if they can do it, maybe I can do 10% of that.
Yeah.
Maybe like
That's
10,
exactly what I think.
5%.
I love seeing people doing crazy
100%,
things. I'm like,
yeah.
what did you do?
How
How
did
did
you
that?
do
I'm
that?
just
Yeah.
well interested to know
Inquisitive,
what
yeah.
they've done. So
Yeah. I think it's a good
that's
way to be, man. Definitely a good way to be.
what's next for MTN then? So you've got the goals for 12-week peak, looking to take on more coaches hopefully this year. What's like aspirations beyond that, like DC thing? More fluff.
More fluff. I think about this a lot.
Anything you're able to unveil.
I know 100%. I don't know if I have any. We do want to do retreats at some point. Something I've always wanted to do. Want to do a team retreat, but I also want to do, if clients want to come to the retreat, I think that'd be a really cool thing to do. That's definitely something. Doesn't make a lot of money, so it's not a financial thing. That's like a fun thing. For me, the only ways to scale my current business is to hire more coaches or bring on more coaches, or develop a super scalable, low price product, which is probably where I'm going to. Some form of 6 to 8 week education / coaching program that's low maintenance from a coach standpoint, high education from a client standpoint. So that's probably where I'm putting a lot of focus from April onwards, rebuilding something that we actually used to have in the past, running ads to it, making it the biggest thing that we do that feeds everything else. So that's kind of, again, fine talking about that. That's really what I want to do. Have a low-cost program that gets hundreds of thousands of people into that, and then thousands of people into the higher-cost programs. That's where I see that going. Alternatively, and additionally, I do want to build the team a little bit more. I don't want 50 coaches, but I certainly want 15 by the end of this year, and maybe trying to pick up 5 a year for the next few years.
Class.
See.
Well, even just saying that, you just saying having the low cost program, people wouldn't say that to like be able to sell people higher ticket things.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but essentially with the low ticket things, I'm just explaining this for younger coaches and stuff. You're just doing that so you can prove that you can offer value and you can get results that people go, fuck, that works.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's like, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you can do it. Well, I mean, we do it with free stuff as well. Like, we're literally about to try and funnel 1,000 people into a free group for a month. Give them all the value that you need on fat loss, how to figure out your calories, protein, steps, a free 3 or 4 day training split. And at the end of that, it will be, did you enjoy it? Did you get any value? Would you like to pay us? And I think I like being upfront with that stuff, because people aren't fucking dummies. Like, I think a lot of PTs think that their market, as in who they're trying to market to, are like not intelligent.
Yeah.
But so I just tell people, I'm like, by the way, this is free. The reasons it's free is because I'm going to try and sell you something at the end of it. Hands up. If you like it, buy something from us. If you think it was dog shit, don't buy anything from us. And people love that. People like to just be told flat out.
Just up front.
And then you look at a lot of other, fitness people, and it's this sort of like, they don't tell you the price. They're really secretive about stuff. And it's like,
we need to go on a call before we tell you.
Then they pressure you into buying something you don't want.
That's mental, isn't it?
Yeah, largely. And I just think, like, have your prices up front. Tell people what there is. If they don't want to buy, it's because you've not showcased enough value. If you've not showcased enough value, showcase more value for free. What is value? Value is showing someone what you can do for them, I suppose. That's the best way to look at it.
Yeah. And that was loads of stuff we just talked about at the seminar.
Exactly. So come to Ross's next seminar next
definitely.
November. Is it one November?
I'll do one next year, whether it'll be October or November.
Nice.
That's
Good.
what we say, mate.
Class. Love it.
Classmate, last thing. How's fatherhood been, parenthood been? How do you feel that's changed your life and the business and how you
operate and stuff? Best thing ever. Like, you know yourself. You 2 kids? Phenomenal. Just had a kid 5 months ago. He's just like, people have always said, you'll never feel love like this. And I was like, shut up. Like, I'm sure I've felt something like this. And then you have a kid and you're like, fair enough, I've never felt that before. It's class. It's definitely made things harder. Like, energy management's harder, training's a little bit harder. Certainly get fucking a sore back all the time if you're changing his nappy.
It's brutal, the positions.
Mate, Jesus Christ. Never thought I'd be that 30-year-old moaning about a sore back, but it is me now. It's been phenomenal. Definitely challenges, but equally, I'm very grateful, fortunate that my life's set up in a way to make it easier. I don't work a 9 to 5. Kirsty doesn't technically need to work right now, which is great. Like, she's probably going to take a year off with him. She's very maternal, very much old school with regards to, like, I'll raise the baby, like, you bring home the bacon. She wouldn't say that, but she is traditional in that sense, and so am I. So, like, I'll be honest, like, my life setup's in a really good way for us to have kids, and I've always said that I wanted it to be that way before I had kids. But it's been fucking class. Love it. It's the best second best thing that's happened to me. MTN was number one. Totally kidding.
Yes. All about the business.
Kidding on, Cross Day, don't listen to us.
That's good. You've been able to manage your time well. I feel like I'm chasing my tail all the time.
Oh, it's hard. No, it's hard as fuck. Like, I sleep way less. I'm probably getting 3 hours sleep less per night.
I thought you were going to say I get 3 hours sleep.
No. I'll probably get like 5 or 6, and I used to get 7 or 8.
That makes sense how you're always up, because I'm like, I need 7 hours sleep.
I sometimes
That's what I'm missing.
If you wake
hours.
up at 4 a.m, I'm like, I'm getting up at 5 anyway, and I'm like, I just get up, and then I just get up and then I'll go to my bed. Try and go to my bed an hour earlier. Or I also do have the ability to nap during the day if I really need it, and I often take that opportunity.
I remember when I first started PT and it was the whole split shifts and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
So
I would always nap in the
Did you
afternoon.
feel terrible after it though?
Sometimes you need to get the timing
Timing it right.
Aye,
It's like, and
'cause
then-
I would snooze. I'm like snooze,
Oh.
and it would be horrendous.
I mean, I'll just be honest. I remember cancelling nighttime clients because I'd wake up from my nap. Not all the time, like on the odd occasion. I would wake up from my nap and be like, I feel hungover. Like, I'm not going back to work.
Those clients hopefully watching now going, I knew it.
I remember it. I knew he was napping.
That bastard.
Aye, naps. You need to time naps for sure.
Aye.
For sure.
I will. Classmate, thank you for coming on. Anything you want to punt promo to the people? Obviously, 12-week Pete's coming up. We're not at that stage yet. We'll keep that.
It's mostly like, it's a lot of coaches listen to us, isn't it?
I don't really know.
No, don't know.
I'm just going with, like I said, it was for
Just me
coaches,
that listens.
and now I'm like, I'm just getting people on and asking them the questions I want to know.
If you want, I'm not going to just throw a program down your neck. You can follow me and I'll throw it down your neck there.
Right.
DHat_MTN, or our business pages at MTN Coaching. Follow us there, and anything else, the podcast that we do, anything else that we do, you can have a look over there. If it's for you, great. If it's not, tell me to fuck off.
We don't need to follow you.
No, follow me. Need more followers.
All about the follows.
Classmate.
Enjoying our gym, of course. Don't forget that. No, brilliant, mate. Thank you very much for coming on. Cheers.
Class. That was good.